Hi, I'm Rachael Collymore and this is my OMG interview. My business is Power Media Hub and we represent a range of artists. We also do publicity, media relations, events management, social media and the like. Part of what we are focusing on in light of this year's World Intellectual Property Day, which was on April the 26th, is intellectual property and the creative industries. What that is about talking to artists and persons in the creative field about their rights, their royalties, what they need to focus on in terms of when they sign up with a collections management organization like CUT, TTTO or the like, what they need, what kinds of questions they need to ask. Okay, so some of the questions that artists need to ask is who owns my copyright? Depending on some artists may not necessarily write the music, or they may write the music and it is produced and mastered by someone else. So it's important to know, okay, who owns the master? Because the master is where the value of that IP lies in terms of who collects, what kinds of percentages come into play in terms of the splits. Okay, so you may co-write on a song and before you even reach the stage of writing the song, you need to determine what kind of splits you should be taken into consideration. So if you have written the majority of the song but someone else, like let's say Marshall, is coming into the play, you may want to kind of sweeten the deal where he gets a larger percentage to kind of carry the song or so forth. Those kinds of things you need to consider. If you should sign up with a CMO, it's important that you understand what they are doing for you. So in the instance of CUT represents authors and composers. So it's important that you find out what kind of rights you are assigning to them, or what kind of license you are assigning to them. No, not necessarily type of license. What I was going to say is the reciprocal agreements that they have.
Okay,
so
you could go from, or what are the reciprocal?
Yes, or what are the reciprocal agreements they have in place, it's what kind of jurisdictions they represent, the territories that they collect from. So those kinds of questions is important that artists are aware of, and also how you can exit the agreement. So from what I understand, if you're signing up with a CMO, they may have an exclusive license. You need to understand what that means. So simply put, the exclusive license means that you have authorized the respective CMO to represent you exclusively, which means that you cannot now take your right and give it to another CMO like BMI or ASCAP, just like that, without severing the relationship with the existing CMO you have signed up with. So those are the kinds of questions it's important that artists are aware of. And also it's important that any kind of legal contract that they are entering into, they should be represented by an entertainment attorney. If they're represented, it's important that their artist manager advise them accordingly as to how they should proceed with the contract or the agreement, because sometimes the legal jargon may confuse, so it's important that they get clarity and understanding before they sign. Okay, so the name of the business is Power Media Hub. Our tagline is Engage Your Brand. What we are looking to do is to start an artist development program and also do a podcast on intellectual property and the creative industries to get persons aware, to raise the awareness level of intellectual property and the value of person's IP. Because sometimes you may think that, okay, I'm doing this for vibes, okay, and somebody say, I have this beat, and you want to write on the beat, and you may not understand, okay, what happens next. And sometimes if the song should blow up, now you're in the problem because you all have not worked out the nitty-gritty as to who gets what. So those kinds of things are important for artists to be cognizant of, and also to take the conversation further. Yeah. So an artist can go by any collections management organization. It is their right to choose whomever they wish. In the cases of the foreign agencies like BMI and ASCAP, CUT, our local CMO, has reciprocal agreements with these agencies, and more than likely they would refer the artists, if they are functioning and practicing in Trinidad and Tobago, to the local CMO. Sometimes what takes place is if an artist is functioning overseas, they may want to get involved with a representative that can do justice to their work. And there are other things that they need to consider in terms of the publishing. Naturally, an artist who writes their own work, composes their own work, owns their publishing, but may be interested in signing on with a respective publisher to push the work further. So those kinds of conversations we are looking to champion, if I may say that, because I think it's important for artists to be aware. I would want the artists to start off by having that one-on-one conversation. It's important for me personally that artists are comfortable in terms of what they are looking to achieve in their career. I would start off the conversation in terms of understanding where they're at in their journey, what they are aware of, what they are not aware of, because over the period of time that I've been in this business, I recognize that sometimes artists are not aware of these things. But further along the conversation, I'm hoping to start a wider open dialogue between a cross range of artists and persons within the field of the creative industries. So that will not only treat with the artists themselves, it will also incorporate the attorneys, the persons who are practitioners and champions for the cause of intellectual property rights, booking agents also, if we will reach there, and also hoping to get other artist managers involved in the conversation, because sometimes it's important for artist managers to educate themselves as what is trending, what is happening in the international space. So those are the kinds of things, that I'm hoping that we can push the conversation further, and hopefully we can see traction in the industry, because I believe that the creative industries have a great contribution to offer to Trinidad and Tobago. I also believe that it's important that we look at our existing laws and see where there may be issues in the existing statutes where we may need to repeal and amend to keep with the current trends and what is taking place. I believe that the average person should be able to pick up a Copyright Act and understand exactly what it is saying. So that's what I would like to bring to the table. I would say this, that the market is getting younger. A lot of young persons are getting into the creative landscape. They are creating their music, be it creating beats, actually writing music. So we have a cross section of practitioners, and therefore it's important that they understand the business of music. Music is a very lucrative industry, and if we understand the different areas that we need to pay a little bit of attention of, I think we can avoid mistakes that our predecessors may have incurred when they got into this business. And I would say, like, for instance, in our calypso music, a lot of our stalwarts in the industry may have lost their rights because they were not aware of what was the value of it, and may have sold it for a dime. So these kinds of things we would like to avoid for the next generation and the next generation to come, because again, we have a valuable contribution to make in the wider space. I think the Caribbean is doing something, and therefore we need to put the things in place to achieve these things. Thank you for having me on OMG Magazine. You can find us at Power Media Hub on all devices, that is Twitter, Facebook, as well as Instagram. That's Power Media Hub. So I look forward to hearing from you. I look forward to having that conversation, and hopefully we can do something together. Bye-bye.